What's going on, YouTube? Tony here, TLC 10 Pro in the building. Shout out to TCL for sending this phone out to me for review. I've been using this phone for about 24 hours. I'm gonna give you guys my first impressions with it and how I like the phone so far. You guys can see, we'll go take a spin around as far as the hardware. It's a quad camera setup. We got dual LEDs on the back, laser autofocus, 64 megapixel, 2 megapixel, 16 megapixel, and then we have a 5 megapixel on the rear. So we got that quad camera setup. It does have the macro and also the wide angle lens on the back. On the front we have 24 megapixels. We also have in-display fingerprint reader, volume marker on the side, power button just below that. On the other side we have this button which you can use for different things. You can set up Google Assistant and some other apps you can assign to it. On the top, check it out, headphone jack. Not only the headphone jack, but right next to the headphone jack over here we have an IR blaster. So IR blaster on deck. Definitely missed that. I've been using that. On the bottom we do have, see if I can focus, we do have the SIM tray, USB Type-C, little microphone, and then we have one single bottom firing speaker. You can see my layout there. Tony's TCL 10 Pro. It is Saturday, May 23rd, and this does house 128 gigabytes of internal storage, 6 gigs of RAM, Qualcomm Snapdragon 675, and the battery on this bad boy is pretty nice. It has a 4500 milliamp battery, so we'll touch on the battery life also. But let's go ahead and jump into the device. We have several options here. We have face unlock and an in-screen fingerprint, so we'll try the fingerprint first. You can see how it unlocks pretty nicely. We'll try that again. Fingerprint reader, and then we'll use the face unlock. So face unlock is pretty snappy. So here is what I'm using on this device. We do have the stock launcher on here. If you swipe over, we do have the Google Now cards. The phone, from me using it for the last 24 hours or whatnot, or just, it's been pretty fluid, pretty smooth. You do have on-screen navigation buttons. You can switch it to gestures. You got different options with that. We do have this edge bar, which you can also set that up. If you go into the edge bar settings, you can customize it. You can add contacts, ruler, and I'm pretty sure later on in the future there will be some more add-ons so you can customize it a little bit more. Let's jump right into their launcher. So the launcher is pretty nice. If you swipe up, you got the app drawer here, and when you first get it, it's set up by category, where they break it down where you got communication, media, utilities, system, and life, and then we got travel and stuff like that. You can switch it if you don't like that. I gotta kind of have mine set to name because it's all in alphabetical order. But you have options here, which is, I thought is pretty cool to set it up just the way you like. And we'll get out of here, go into settings. You obviously have the quick tiles. You got NFC for mobile payments. This phone does not have wireless charging, and it doesn't have IP certification. But I did notice when I put my SIM card in that there is a ring in the SIM tray. So, you know, they added some sort of protection for it. It's just not certified with an IP rating. But yeah, so far it's been pretty fluid, man. I enjoyed this big, beautiful display. It's a 6.4 inch AMOLED with the curve. It's like a curved display. I'm not a huge fan of the curve display simply because your hand tends to lay, or your fingers tend to lay on the screen, and sometimes you activate you know, apps and stuff. But so Mint Mobile is the carrier that I'm using, so it's connected to Mint Mobile. Strong connection. I've been using Mint Mobile since I got the phone, and Mint Mobile runs its sub T-Mobile carrier, runs on T-Mobile network, and it seems to run very well on here. Also, you do have Wi-Fi calling. Let's jump into setting. It is running Android 10. So we'll go down to System and About Phone, and you can see here some more information. Snapdragon 675, 1080 by 2340 resolution, 64. You got the megapixel count on the cameras there. Also 6 gigs of RAM and a whopping 4,500 milliamp battery life, which right now you guys see I'm at 34%. We'll touch on the battery life real quick. An Android security patch March 1st. So the phone does have some customizations here and there. If we go to settings, you start off, you got display, which you do have the notch. You can change the notch, you can cover the notch. You have full screen apps, dark mode, eye comfort, adaptive brightness. You also have always on display, which I have turned off, but it's there, it's available, always on display. You do have this dark theme, which is going to be real good because this is an AMOLED display or OLED display. We have NXT vision, visual enhancements for reading. It's mostly for eye comfort. You got SDR to HDR, reading mode, vivid colors you can change. You got color options here. A lot of stuff in this phone for $449. I forgot to mention that in the beginning of the video, but it is $449. I think it's competing definitely head to head with the iPhone SE 2020. So yes, this is definitely in that price bracket. The iPhone SE 2020 starts at $399 for the 64 gig and $449 for the 128 gig, which is what this is right here. This is 128 gig with 6 gigs of RAM. We also have some advanced features here. Here's where you can change the navigation. You can do gestures. You can switch it up right there. You got different modes. So yeah, it's very customizable. And let me see what else we have. Edge bar. I showed you that already. You can customize some of that. One hand, game mode, driving mode, smart key. It's this button on the side here, which you can customize it to do different things. You can add whatever's on this list, you can add on there, which is pretty cool. Let me go back. So if you turn this on and you go out of it and then you comes up to the Google Assistant, which is pretty cool. You can also use this right here. This is what I've been using, so it works pretty well. Google Assistant is definitely pretty nice on here. Let me go ahead and go back and disable that. I'll do that with later videos. As soon as I get a feel for the phone, I'll definitely tinker with more and come back. You also have a screen recorder. So yeah, that is the display NXT version. Then we have some home wallpapers. You can check out the wallpapers. Pretty nice wallpapers. Live wallpapers also on deck. And let me see, we go home settings for the home screen. So I'm using the stock launcher. It's pretty cool, man. I think it's pretty fast, pretty smooth. It's almost stock Android. It did come with some pre-installed apps that I was able to uninstall, so I thought that was awesome. So whatever is on here that you don't use, check it out. The IR Blaster supports Roku TV, so I've been using this to control my TV. I thought this is awesome. And also you can control other things. You can control air conditioners, projectors, air cleaners, fans, DVD players, netbox, all kinds of stuff. Power amplifiers, water heater. A lot of things you can tinker with the IR Blaster. But yeah, 24 hours with it. It's been good, man. I'm actually enjoying the phone. I love the display. I believe it's 984 nits. So it's very bright, as you can see outdoors. We have overcast today, but let's jump into the battery real quick. And most people that watch my videos are very interested in the battery. So it is 7:05 a.m. and we're gonna go ahead and find the battery. So Smart Manager is on deck also, helps speed things up. And we do have batteries, so we'll go into battery. I am at 33%. So according to this, it says I have 12 hours and 13 minutes left with 33%. Go into battery details, and it's been off the charger for 1 day, 1 hour and 20 minutes, and my on-screen time is 6 hours and 29 minutes. So pretty good battery life, I must say. It is set. You could check out the apps used here. You can see what I used, 16%, 3 hours. So yeah, battery life's definitely good on this phone. Once again, TCL 10 Pro on deck. I'm definitely enjoying the build on this phone. It comes with a case, also supports fast charging, USB Type-C. The speakers on here, I'll make a separate video for that. For a single mono bottom firing speakers, man, it sounds pretty good. So yeah, that's it for right now. 24 hours later, my first impression, TLC 10 Pro in the building. I'm enjoying this bad boy. We out.